Hello and welcome to the video where we attempt to put together the sequences, partial sums, sigma notation, and how to calculate the whole thing. This is the problem we're working on. Represent the sum of the first 6 terms in the sequence starting 8, negative 6, 9 halves, negative 27 eighths in sigma notation, then compute the sum. What I'll also try to show you is how to use Microsoft Word's equation editor to express equations and also Paint to express online your calculations. If I was trying to figure out what kind of a sequence this was, which I'd need to add it up, I'd start with 8, and I know that I'm going to negative 6. So if this were an arithmetic sequence, I would say, 8 minus 14 is what moves me to negative 6. So the common difference would have to be negative 14. That means I'd have to keep going, and in every step I'd subtract 14. Now negative 6 minus 14 is negative 20. That's bad because this sequence clearly doesn't have the third term being negative 20. That means this is not an arithmetic sequence. Let's get rid of that. And let's see if it's a geometric sequence. So we have 8, then we go to negative 6. Instead of a common difference, we now have a common ratio. So there must be some r. 8 times that r should equal negative 6. How do you go about finding that r? Well, you say negative 6 is supposed to equal r times 8. So r must be equal to negative 6 divided by 8. Negative 6 divided by 8, that reduces to 3/4. So this common ratio, 8 times negative 3/4, is negative 6. Does that pattern continue? Let's multiply negative 6 times negative 3/4. We'll do a little scratch work down below. Negative 6 times negative 3/4. Well, I'm going to think of these as fractions, so I'll write this as 6 over 1. The negatives cancel. I have a 6 on the top and a 4 on the bottom, so I'll reduce those. Dividing the top by 2, I get a 3 there. Dividing the bottom by 2, I get a 2 there. So I have 3 times 3 on the top, 9. 1 times 2 on the bottom, 2. And the third term should be 9 halves. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for over here. Notice if you multiplied again by negative 3/4, I think I'll let you check that yourself, you get to negative 27 eighths. So this is a geometric sequence with first term 8 and common ratio negative 3/4. How would I write that in sigma notation? Well, first I want to insert an equation, and I want that equation to have a sigma in it. So I'll pick sigma on the menu. I want the sigma where I can put in an index on the bottom. I want to start by adding the first term and end by adding the 6th term. Now, as for what the particular terms are, you'll remember that geometric sequences can be calculated by taking the first term and multiplying by the common ratio raised to the I minus first power for the ith term. So that is sigma notation. How can we go about calculating what that is? Well, you remember there's a way to calculate the 6th partial sum, which this is. You start with the initial term. On the top we have 1 minus the common ratio raised to the 6th power for the 6th partial sum. That whole thing is divided by 1 minus the common ratio. So that is the description of what the sum actually is. Now I can't resist showing you a little bit of online technology. There's a site called Wolfram Alpha, wolframalpha.com, and if you put that equation into Wolfram Alpha, I'll just show it to you there, prefabricated, and press enter, it does a fabulous job of calculating it. Here's the answer exactly, 481 over 128. Here's the decimal approximation, and you might want to check out that site. So 481, I forgot, 481 over 128, and that is my final answer.